Hello and welcome to One Man Collection. Today I'm looking at the Australian Cars Collection magazine number 24. So this is the Holden HSV Walkinshaw. So the SS Group A from 1988, or VL Commodore as it says there. Now I do remember these on the streets, and I think I even remember a family friend having one. Lots of plastic on these from what I remember. But we will take a look at the die-cast car at the end, see how that comes up. Do have a magazine still in its wrapping. You also get to preview next magazine number 25's HR premiere. HR. I think I remember a friend having one of these. She might have had a HK, come to think of it. Might have been my uncle had the HR premiere back in the day. Alright, plastic wrap on that. Do have a large piece of cardboard in here. Same as my number 23 Volkswagen magazine. This got folded by the post office, unfortunately, which gave it a little bit of a fold there, or squished by something else, which is a shame. Alright, we're going to take a look in the magazine. I'm not going to read everything flat out. This actually looks like a picture of the die-cast car. I guess they have the rights for that picture. So, front engine V8, it's a 5 litre or 4.987 with a 180 kilowatt or 241 horsepower. And 83 litre tank and 230 km/h top speed. Back in 1988 though, that was the way things were. It was actually not too bad. A lot of the body kit stuff and aero, I think, was to do with the motor racing that was going on at the time and the use of the VL Commodore in the touring cars. Plastic Fantastic is named, yeah. Result of special homologation model for Group A racing. There you go, exactly what I was saying. And looking at it, I mean, I remember these as like they were supposedly high muscle cars and all the rest of the day. And I'm looking at going maximum power 180 kilowatt. And I've got a 2014 Subaru Impreza WRX. Actually, it's not even called Impreza anymore, just the WRX brand. So my 15. And it has 197 kilowatt. And top speed's a little higher than the 230. Not that you'll catch me doing that. Not that you'll ever see me doing that, or that I would ever admit to doing that. All right, Plastic Fantastic. Holden parted with Peter, took up with Tom to create a hardcore homologation special. So talking about Peter Brock and Tom Wilkinshaw. So what engine? In February of 1987, there was only one fuel-injected V8 prototype engine, and it was Brock's HTD dyno. It was smuggled over to Larry Perkins by the soon-to-be ex-staffer. Pillar to post. Wheels. First test of the car in early 1988 showed the fiberglass panel covered with a VL extras, a C-pillar window. It failed to pass FISA homologation. Yep. RIP TWR. Tom Wilkinshaw braved out many battlers, including a fighting back from bankruptcy. But the, what's that? Teak Tough? Scott succumbed to cancer late last year, age 64. This is back in when? When was this written? Not sure if that's back in 88 or not. Picture this, TWR only nabbed the HSV contract from October 87, leaving no time to complete an SS prototype. At the Sydney Motor Show, they displayed a life-size rendering of the car instead. Okay. Horn in the USA. How does the SS Group A compare with the Yank Hero cars of the home turf? Richard Sipos reckons the Down Under Wonder is one mean iron pumper. So this is obviously what was around in 88, the Camaro. Yeah, okay. So what they did, a quick write-up. I don't know why you're comparing it, because we never got that Camaro here. We never got this Mustang or even the Corvette. The only way you got these is somebody actually imported them and then did a left-hand drive to right-hand drive conversion. And the same would be for the Commodore with all its bulk plastic add-ons. But I'm not going to read all of the article here. Cruising around the Group A had the same effect on a residence that Arnold Schwarzenegger would have if he walked down the street with his shirt off. Yeah, because you got all this extra bulge stuff. Unnecessary. I don't know about Arnold Schwarzenegger. His was necessary for his competitions and acting. SS Group A is a joy to drive. The seductive in induction or roar sends a thrill down your spine. In fact, it's the raciest sound car in the bunch. Sounding car, yeah. Instant classic. Holden's new SS Group A looks set to be a collector's Commodore. Oh, yeah. No, 100% collector. Yeah, I'm sure most of them are now not even driven, unless it's to motor shows and the likes. This is the renderings. This one actually looks like what came out a year or so later, with a little less bulk and the likes. Track Test SS Group A. Holden's fire-breathing Group A rolls out the special vehicles factory gate in a little more than a month. Phil Scott had the exclusive first drive. Okay, that's what they were talking about before. There's just the VL with a bonnet scoop, essentially. So 0 to 106.7. Essentially, if you look at that particular version there, that's a Berliner with a 5 litre. Okay, that's not even the car. Flat out at Lang Lang, that's the testing ground for Holden. Note the blacked out computer equipment and the speedo on the bump stops. Yep. Engine is a tight fit with a twin throttle body fuel injection and a huge alloy plenum box. Biggest exterior change below is the new rear deck treatment. Yeah, they really did that body stuff. I'll tell you what though, if nothing else, it stood out. Stood out a lot. They did when the VN Commodore came out not long after, there was one version that had very similar get up on it. I'll have a look at magazine number 25 coming up, but we're going to take a quick look at this die-cast car. Still in its plastic. I haven't opened it. I leave that for... Actually, it looks like they've... Oh, look at that. I'm not even going to need a knife to open this one. Looks like it's already starting to come apart. I will keep the box, but I am going to take it out, and I do display these on... Well, currently actually on a 3D printed display rack with all the others. I think I showed that off with the Chrysler that came out recently. Alright, Holden HSV VL Group A Walkinshaw. Awesome. Oh, we've got more Victorian number plates. I can't actually tell that. I think it is. Is that Victoria down the side there? Let's have a look at the magazine a bit closer. Yeah, I think it is. I can't tell, to be honest. Not without potentially zooming in. Vic or Queensland, I really can't tell. Huge part on the back there. I don't know. I guess it was for aerodynamics, and you got to remember these were made so that they could join a touring car racing with a particular shape and or performance. So they had to make a certain amount of these in order to meet the class for the racing. Triangular screwed like most of these. If you've not seen any of my videos, I do suggest getting yourself, hang on, drop. This one's actually quite difficult. Oh, there we go. Getting yourself a little hobby kit that has multiple fittings for these type of things if you want to take them off their display. There's one of the Ferrari magazines, I think, had the same thing. Do have a little stand there. Get that one out of the way. Coming nice and close. Got our badge on the side there. Toe point, I think is what those are. Put in your jack so you can lift it up. We've got the disc brakes down there. You can see the calipers, not painted at all. There's your VL lights, if I've ever seen them. Hang on, focus in. And your Group A and SS. So it's SS in white with Group A in red over it. Can we get that a little bit better? There we go. Looks like the Holden Racing Team badge on the top left. Very good. And that pale blue that they had in the VL series Commodores, especially in this one, I do remember that. Black wheel though. Looks like we've got a little bit of painted center console as well. You can see through the windows. A massive nose bonnet scoop on that, and some extra downforce compared with the usual VLs. Look, it's a well done model. Let's have a look underneath. So we've got our 143 HSV VL SS Walkinshaw. We've also got a Holden official license detail, and okay, you've got a shaped muffler exhaust system, like the center muffler, and the other one that goes underneath the wheel. And then you notice there's no muffler at the back there. That's the muffler there, allowing for a larger fuel tank, I'm guessing. I'm guessing with that. These do have rubber tires, in case you're wondering. And I just knocked off a light system there, didn't I? I did too. I just knocked off my headlight cover with sticking to my thumb. So what I have to do is see if I can get that to pop back in. I may end up needing to pop in a touch of glue on that. Well, that's most disappointing. Alright. Careful not to knock that off again. I'll put that on the turntable so you can have a closer look. I may just put in a dab of glue in there, trying not to muck it up. Thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll be back with the HR premiere in the next magazine when that actually gets delivered to me, which is once a month. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Cheers.